What's up, guys? This is K-LO, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we're cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news headlines. And who better, especially better today, to join me than Aden? Why don't you say what's up?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game Sandwich, where we are definitely always creating our own engines.
We are, and we're trying to break free from being under 1,000 subs. So if you want, subscribe to Game Sandwich, like this video, share it, and join our community Discord. Links to that is in the video description down below. I'm really proud I kept that transition together. But speaking of people who aren't keeping things together, I think it's pretty safe to say, Borderlands 4, it launched, and there's been a little bit of a discourse around this game and its launch, and who's responding to what, and I want to first set the scene here. Of course, Borderlands 4 launched last Thursday, midnight, Friday, that whole deal. As of right now, on Steam, 35% of all reviews are negative, and of course, this is coming in as the days goes on, and it's basically Borderlands 4 has been plagued by performance issues on Steam, on PC. There's been some co-op things that we've experienced. We're going to dive into that later, but the general the thing that is getting people really started here is how Randy Pitchford responded to a tweet. Now, I'm going to get into this tweet. As we all know, whenever he tweets, they're just prepare for whatever follows. So I'm going to read it off, and then we'll break down this whole conversation. So there was a fan that basically said, or here's just an idea, make your game look good without relying on AI upscale. To that, Randy Pitchford replied, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies, working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders, don't know what you seem to know, and then / sarcasm. So, and then
They're sarcastic, don't worry.
it's all sarcasm, don't worry. And then one fan I'm going to bring up, and then we'll dive into the conversation. They responded to that tweet by saying, don't charge us $70 if you cannot optimize the game, crybaby. Okay. Aden, I'm gonna pass this to you. I take it from here.
Okay, so you missed something. You missed something in that, and I only say you missed it, and because I want to call it out.
Okay.
Let me just pull up the tweet here. I was in the process of finding it, but then I remembered I could just follow a link.
There you go. We got it.
But someone specifically here, I need to do there. They specifically said, "Hey, you have a history of responding publicly in ways that come across as defensive or confrontational, often engaging directly with individuals instead of maintaining the professional posture expected of an executive. Reacting emotionally rather than strategically only makes things worse over time. People expect their concerns to be acknowledged and addressed, not dismissed with statements like, well, you do a better job. They're not your bros, they're your customers." They said exactly everything that I think that this encapsulates right there. What I would say, they came off better.
Exactly. Like, there is a line you have to walk whenever you're in that position of power to be like, okay, these are the people that are funding, and I hate to be like that, where it's like, these are the people that are funding my thing, I have to live and die by them. Essentially, you do as a company like this. Essentially, you do whenever Borderlands 4, as a game and all the merit behind it, was hinging on audience reception. Because now you're getting into this game, you see the reviews on Steam, and then all these issues straight out of the gate. The one thing you brought up whenever we were streaming it last night was the fact that they moved this game up, and per his words, it's because it was so polished and ready. That is something I've lost in this whole mythos of, oh yeah, like, they moved this game up because they said it was crisp and ready to go.
Yeah, which, you know what, I'm gonna point out here. Okay, I had early access to the game. Okay, I had early access. I had the game like a week and a half ahead of everybody else. And from my experience, like playing it through to the end, it was polished. It was good. I didn't have any issues. Like I had literally the game didn't stutter. I was playing on PC, by the way, but the game didn't stutter at all.
Hmm.
The game had like no issues aside from just the compiling shaders thing, which I did. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't mind waiting a few extra seconds for it to compile the shaders. I know some people do, but I don't care. So like I had absolutely no issues with this, except for one. And that one issue crashed my game. We reported it to Gearbox. I don't know whether or not they take care of it. That's on them. I have no
Yep.
idea if they will. But the issue was I threw a grenade. It went underneath of a like shield generator thing that is impossible to damage.
Hmm.
And it's part of the main campaign. It went underneath the shield generator thing in Vile Lictor's Sanctum or whatever. And the grenade was a Merv grenade that kept infinitely spawning underneath of that shield generator. And it gave me the worst noise where it was like constantly for like 10 minutes straight. And then it finally just crashed my game.
Yeah.
Because like it kept showing infinite like immunity procs just boom 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 boom. And it was like the worst 10 minutes ever, but I waited out to see if it would stop and then it finally just crashed.
So, I there's that tweet I brought up of like, don't charge us $70. I think it's that where it's like you're charging a premium for this product. This is your fourth entry. You should know what you're doing by now. And then it's also everything Randy Pitchford said up until this point where he stoked the fire. He's very divisive, and fans keep those like they keep those receipts as if to say, yeah, like you said all this. Like he said the game was going to be polished and ready to go. And for me as a consumer, where it's like, yeah, like I'm paying $70 and I expect the game to be in working condition. Now, to be clear, at least for the viewer's sake, I know this. You were playing single player all the way through. Like you
Yeah.
were not
I
doing
played
co-op.
I didn't try co-op until we started streaming co-op.
And that's where I kind of
So,
yeah. So that's where I want to take the
uh,
conversation next, where it's like for me, my first experience with Borderlands 4 was through co-op. It wasn't through single player. And I've experienced issues. Like last night, per recording this video, we were streaming it, and I died, and there's like it shows this blue portal as if you're loading into the world again whenever you die. I got stuck in that portal for like a solid 15 minutes. Granted, after 5, I should have said, "All right, I gotta quit the game, restart." Those are things you don't want in a game
yeah.
where it's like you're taking yourself out of the experience. There was a
I will point
enemy.
this out
Yeah.
too. Since the day one patch went live, I have also been stuttering on PC in both multiplayer and single player. So
Yes.
there is stuttering that goes on now since the day one patch went live. I don't know what they did in that patch, but
They,
it's causing it.
so there were other things like enemies were stuck under certain parts of the map and we couldn't progress in a mission. We had to all just leave the game, come back. It is
We were trying so hard to get to them.
we were sending everything at that enemy. Andrew, friend of the channel here, who's not affiliated with us, obviously. He has issues whenever he's on the little speeder bike and he rubber bands. And again, it all stems back to you're charging a premium for this product. This is your fourth entry. This isn't your first. There's been you moved the game up whenever you said the game was polished and everything. It is the accountability you have to hold, especially for developers like Gearbox who've been there, done that. And every single word leading up to the launch of Borderlands 4 has been like, hey, this game peak Borderlands. This is everything you want. Albeit, you and I are in the minority here where it's like we're having fun with this game whenever it is working, where it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we enjoy it. Like it's a fun game. But at the same time, the performance issues are things you really can't excuse in today's climate where it's like $70. Some people will pay upwards of that. Like the two people ahead of me in GameStop picking up our games, they bought the Ultra Collector, like the white and gold box, that one. And it's like, you really don't want to have that. Like, you pay 120 bucks for that, and then you're met with this. Odds are those two people are playing co-op. They're experiencing probably the same issues, and they're on console too. So it's just things like accountability, man. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think you're going deep enough with this either.
I probably am
You're
not.
scratching the surface here
Yeah.
of what we've experienced. Don't forget that Andrew, the guy that we've been playing with, who is not affiliated with the channel, remember that.
Not. Totally not.
He's on PlayStation. K-Lo's on Xbox. I'm on PC. We're playing across all the platforms here. On PlayStation specifically, Andrew has experienced his loot just disappearing from his inventory. He's also experienced last night, he experienced a reloading issue where his gun was stuck with 0.1 second reload time left for what took us like the entirety of Idolater's Soul's health bar to
A boss battle.
finally get rid of. Like one health bar, not like his whole health, but one health bar's worth of his 3 health bars. Took him that long to finally like reload, but he could still use his like action skill. Like he could command trouble because he was playing his Vex, and he could also do something else, throw grenades. That's what it was.
Yep.
So like he's experienced that. We experienced like the vending machines, just all the loot in them disappearing, and the timer for reset being stuck at 0. Like I have been experiencing with the bike. I have not been experiencing rubber banding, but I've been experiencing like stuttering every time I load up the bike. That doesn't happen to me in single player. That only happens to me in co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also, just because I was doing like a little bit of research, there's some other people who have been having issues, like besides like the stuttering and all that. And that like some people have been having issues with like skills where one person on Reddit specifically posted a video about how they combined the Demon Core ability for Harlow with the runaway reaction skill. And basically, if you don't know what that's supposed to do, is whenever you apply a status effect to an enemy, it automatically entangles them as per her skills. And so they showed a video of them just shooting an enemy, specifically one of the vault bosses, and it procced a status effect and then infinitely spawned damage numbers and then just like slowed down their game to a crawl. And then they said, yeah, that happens just from shooting a normal enemy with those 2 skills active, and then it crashes their game after a few minutes. So there's clearly issues here.
And it's not like, to say for Borderlands 4, it's not like it's an enemy here and there bugging out. These are key core aspects of what makes Borderlands, where it is the loot, it is the cooperative gameplay, it is traversal, it is like fighting enemies, and like it's everything that makes Borderlands. And whenever you suffer on that end, fans are quick to sour on the experience, and I wouldn't blame anybody that hasn't bought Borderlands 4 seeing all this and going, yeah, I can skip this for now until they fix everything. Like, that is just where we're at, because it's like, all right, you don't play Borderlands 4. There's like 1,000 other games coming out within the next month or couple weeks. So it's like you had people's attention right here, and now you are losing them rapidly.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, I don't blame people if they see the issues and then go, oh, okay, I'm going to wait for a sale, or, oh, I'm going to wait just like a month or 2 for them to figure it out and finally get a patch out that works and everything. Like, it bugs me that I'm stuttering now because I wasn't having that at all prior to that day 1 patch. I don't know how the hell they messed that up.
Yeah, that must be worse.
Somehow, like, I was running it perfectly. And it's not like my setup doesn't meet the requirements. Like, I more than meet the requirements, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, it's not like I'm one of those people who has, like, who's barely hitting the minimum or anything. Yeah. Like, I have more than the recommended, and you're giving me a bunch of issues? Like, that shouldn't be here.
Yeah, and 2 things there. One, Like my PC, I don't even want to know how it would run on my PC because like it's a budget build. It's nothing too crazy over the top, but it's also like not a graphically demanding game, at least in my opinion. Where it's like it's all cell shaded stuff. It's not like I don't know. I'm just gonna name a random game here, like a Gosa Yote, where it's like you are focused on the environment, the leaves, the finer details. It's like cell shaded, like cartoony, like whatever. Albeit there's a lot of explosions, a lot of numbers, so there's a lot occupying the screen. But and then you factor in the whole point of this video, inflammatory words by the CEO of Gearbox. It's like let's just say these things were happening, and then he sent out a tweet saying like I promise I'll make it good by you guys. I'll give you the first DLC free of charge because, you know, we owe it to our fans, whatever. Not saying
You don't even need to do that.
I was
Just
about
be
to say.
simple and just be like, I'm sorry for the issues. We're working on it.
Exactly.
You know, even
like,
a simple thing like that's fine.
I was just about to say, like, he doesn't even have to do that. Just say, like, I'm sorry, own it, and then make it right. Like,
Yeah.
that's all you had to do to stay within the realm of, like, okay, like, day one, week one issues, they're gonna come and they're gonna fix it. It sucks to
Now,
see.
It reminds me of the one guy. I can't remember his name. It's gonna drive me crazy not remembering his name, but you'll know him. The guy who was the lead on X Defiant,
Oh.
who always tweeted out about every issue in the game. People complained about issues. They harassed the hell out of him, but most of what he said was just like, hey, look, we're fixing this. This is how this works. And he would explain it and be like, hey, this is why we're having this issue. We're trying to figure this out. We're doing this. You know,
Mark
transparency
Rubin?
is great.
Mark Rubin.
Yeah, Mark Rubin. Like, he would explain that stuff to people, and like that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
He'd go out of his way to explain things that he didn't need to explain to people and not make a big fuss about it, not like call people like not real fans or anything. He wouldn't like that comment will forever haunt me right there. But
it will.
But you know, so like what is stopping Randy Pitchford from doing that? Like
Right.
he could easily just be like that CEO that just explains, "Hey, this is why we're having this issue," you know. And I get that, and like you know, I'm gonna preface this too. Prior to that tweet where he responded poorly, he was giving advice to help you run the game better. It's not like he wasn't doing that.
Yep.
So like credit where credit's due. He was trying to help with that.
Exactly.
But he also should not have responded in the way that he did to a fan. That's like completely uncalled for here. But you know, like, but again, what is stopping him from just being like, hey, look, this is the reason why we're having this issue. This is the reason why we like, you know, in the case of the AI upscaling thing, like, hey, this is why we relied on AI upscaling or something. You know, explain that instead of just being like, do it yourself.
Yeah, or just like don't say anything. Just keep your head down and like what you don't see like won't hurt you. It's like that where it's like you can go online and like open up your phone and look through your responses, which I'm sure he gets plenty, and I'm sure there's a lot on his plate. And quite honestly, I don't think it comes from a place of being arrogant. I just think it's passion, and he's overly passionate about like doing this, as would I, like putting out a product. Like I'm passionate about it, but at the same time I know like if someone replies to like one of my videos, I'm not gonna go there and like berate them of like whatever. And like if I make a mistake, you own it and then you just move on. Like you don't have to reply, you don't have to press send. If I had to preach anything for Randy, you can type out the message, just don't hit send it to your drafts, send it to wherever, never see the light of day, and then you're good.
Just write the letter, just don't put it in the mailbox, you know.
Make a journal, make
better
a little
mail
journal.
it to yourself.
Yeah, make a little dream journal or something, and then just I don't know, man, it's funny. But yeah, any final words here?
I mean, just Gearbox, like, do your best to fix the game.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that you can fix the game. Obviously, you can. I didn't stutter before, so what? You know, I'm sure that you can figure out that issue. But just figure out the issues with the game. It's going to help everybody in the long run. And you know what? Just next time, just don't be like so overly confident in your game and be like, oh yeah. everything's perfect. We're moving it up because it's gone gold already and everything, and then all of a sudden have issues. Like, you should have been testing this stuff. If it had gone gold, you should have been testing everything to make sure that there were no issues at launch.
Yeah, this is a story I feel like it's gonna keep evolving and keep going, just simply for the fact it's only a weekend and there's more to come from it. So if there's more that pops up, we will be talking about it here. But as of right now, I've been K-LO, joined by Aden. If you like this video, drop a like on it, comment, and subscribe here to Game Sandwich for more content just like this. But we'll see you guys next time.
I'm gonna go crash the game.
If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.